What's going on, guys? Josh here from Momentum Productions, and today I'm going to be showing you my editing workflow using the Zhiyun Crane 2 gimbal. I'm going to be showing you how I edit gimbal footage, especially for one of my fitness shoots. Today we're going to be editing a video for Rob Riches. He is a fitness trainer and he has a YouTube channel. Just look up Rob Riches. He has over 600,000 subscribers. So we're going to be going deep into the editing process. I'm going to be showing you step by step how I edit his videos. So for Rob's videos, I use the Zhiyun Crane 2 gimbal about 95% of the time, so I use that gimbal a lot. So I'm going to be showing you why I chose certain shots, why I chose certain close-ups, how I'm going to splice everything together, what music I'm using, and when to use slow motion and when not to use slow motion. So this will be a great tutorial for you guys, especially if you're new to editing. Now, before we get started with the rest of this video, I do want to mention that I'm using the Master & Dynamic MW60 wireless headphones. These headphones provide accurate sound and they also eliminate a lot of ambient noises. That way you have tunnel vision and are completely focused with your editing workflow. Here's a few clips about the features and specs of these headphones. The MW60s come in an elegant package box. It's just a joy to open it up. As we slide open the box, we will gain access to the main compartment which holds our headphones. We also get a welcome message from Master & Dynamic. Our separate cable box here includes our charging cable for the headphones and our auxiliary cable. We also have a 1/4 inch adapter. You'll notice that the cable is also tethered so it doesn't tangle up easily. When removing the headphones, you'll notice how high quality they are. They're made out of stainless steel and aluminum. And just look at the design. It looks fantastic. I love it. Stainless steel pistons allow you to adjust ear comfort. We also have an integrated microphone and Bluetooth antenna, allowing you to get a range of over 100 feet. The dedicated headphone jack allows you to listen to your music while using the auxiliary cable and not using the internal 16-hour battery. The headband is stitched and made out of cowhide leather. The ear cups are made out of lambskin leather and are magnetically attached, so you can either replace them or clean them. On the bottom level of the box, we will have a carrying bag for the headphones and a manual. The headphones also fold up for easy storage. Inside of the carrying bag, we also have a separate little baggie meant to store all of our cables. The carrying bag is a soft shell carrying bag, so I wouldn't toss it around too much. The zipper on the bag, however, is of great quality. I've used these headphones for over 3 hours and they are by far the most comfortable. These headphones do not have a boomy bass. If that's the type of sound you're looking for, then these aren't the best choice for you. However, the midtones and the treble is excellent. I edit a lot of people's voices in video editing, so I need to be able to have great midtones and a great treble, and this is exactly what these headphones bring to the table. Now, if you notice, I did attach an audio cable to these headphones. That way I don't get any lag or Bluetooth connectivity issues coming from my laptop. So this is the best way to get the most accurate sound. All right, let's get started. All right, guys, here we go. Now, the program that I'm using today is Final Cut Pro 10. This is by far my most favorite video editing software, not only because it's extremely user-friendly, but it's fast when it comes down to rendering, faster than Sony Vegas or Adobe Premiere. So that's why I stuck with Final Cut Pro 10. Also, I do want to mention that I did shoot all of Rob Riches' videos in 1080p 60 frames per second. That's because I want to have the versatility of that footage in case I want to slow some of it down. With fitness videos, especially with run and gun fitness videos, you only have one chance to capture this footage. So why not make it as versatile as possible? If need be, you can add extra motion blur if you don't get enough of it to replicate 24 frames per second footage. With that said, let's get started. First things first, I want to choose music. That is probably the most difficult part in any part of editing, and that is choosing the right music. Now, here's the thing. This video that I've done for Rob Riches, it reached 300,000 views in about a week. And that is because we kept the audience's retention very, very high. So that should be your idea when it comes down to editing for clients. You want to keep viewer retention pretty high. And how did I do that? Well, I started with a kick-ass intro. I'm not gonna lie. The music came in, it's electro, it's upbeat. You can use any upbeat music. It doesn't have to be electro, it could be rock music, but because I'm a millennial, Rob Riches is a millennial, his audience are millennials, so we love electronic music, and it gets you pumped up and ready to go, and the BPM of that music seems to be the right BPM to get people's hearts racing. I mean, that's what we want. So first things first, we need to choose music. Here I have some tunes that I downloaded from YouTube channels that allow you to download their music for free. These tracks are non-copyrighted and they're royalty free. So feel free to download these tracks as long as you credit the artist in the description box of your video. You don't necessarily have to pay for professionally made tracks. You have a lot of stuff here for free of use. So consider that. And I'll leave links for these YouTube channels in the description box below, so make sure you check them out. Let's cycle some of these songs and let's see if any of them catch our attention. Remember, we want to stick to upbeat music, and yeah, let's see if we like anything here. Remember, if you dance along with your edit, that means your audience is going to dance along too. So this editing process is supposed to be a ton of fun, not just for the audience, but for you. You got to have a good time. You're going to watch me dance a little bit while I edit. I'm not embarrassed. All right, let's check out this song. Nah, too slow. Let's try this. Nah, no. That's maybe background music, but not like intro music. Let's see here. Future bass is a good genre. That's okay, we can do better. Not really. It's not bad, we're getting better here. By the way, if you notice, I skipped to the drops of these songs. I don't want to listen to too much of it because I'll waste a lot of my time. So I skipped to the drops. The drops are what make this video banging, all right? So we want to get a song with a really solid drop. Beat drop, I mean. Nope. So I think I found my song. This one here is not only electronic, but it's also epic. It has like the cinematic epic music. So I'm gonna note this song. I'm actually just gonna drag and drop it into my Final Cut Pro library, and we'll work from there. Okay, let's start piecing this together. Our opening shot is with Rob using the ropes here. Now, if you notice here, the coloring here is very flat. That's because I shot an S-Log on the Sony a7R II. So if this video reaches 300 likes, I will cover a color correction tutorial as well, because that is a completely different monster to take over. So, so yeah, give this video a like if you want to see a color correction tutorial. Right now I'm just going to be showing you how I outline my edits and how everything looks. So I'm just going to trim the fat here of this clip, and I want to start showing Rob doing the rope here. And this is all done using the a7R II and the Zhiyun Crane 2 gimbal. Now I shot this in 60 frames per second. Since form here is not important because it's just the intro, I can do it in slow motion. Usually I like to play everything back in real time when Rob is mentioning form. That way people understand the basics of what he's talking about. Slow motion is not real. We don't work out in slow motion. We work out in real motion, so to speak. So usually when Rob is talking about a certain exercise, I rarely use slow motion anymore. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. but mainly we stick to real time, and we'll cover that in just a second. I'm going to take out the audio of this clip since we're going to have music playing over it, and let me slow down this clip to 50%. That way we have half speed here. Okay. Now, I want to trim this some more because if you notice, nothing really happens with the motion here. When I start dollying in to Rob, that's when we actually start seeing some serious motion with the gimbal. So I want to trim the beginning all the way up until I start dollying in on Rob. So right about there. There we go. Very cool. Okay, and let's already drop in this song here. Drag and drop. So let's play the song and let's see if it matches with the video here so far. It's okay. It starts off okay with the drums, and then let's go closer to the beat drop. I want to see how that sounds. So whenever you want the beat to the track to start sooner, you can always split up the track and combine it as long as the beats match up. So for example, let me see what I can do here with the track. Okay, so I like the drums. I'm going to let that play out for a little bit. So let's mainly focus on this clip here, and let's change angles, because the quicker or the more frequently we change the angles, the more interesting the workout becomes. So let's see how we can change up the angles here and spice up the footage. Boom. Right there as that beat comes down, we want to change to a different angle. So I'm going to cut this, and I want to see what other angle I have here. I like this angle here of Rob's back because this is a back exercise, so we want to show his back working. So let's see how this looks. You want to make sure that the timing is perfect, so let's see. Okay, so it's not perfect. Let's line it up to the beat. Perfect. And then at that moment, we've had enough drums. I want the song to drop. So I'm going to trim the song's clip right here. And I want to go all the way to the beat drop. And we're going to try and match up the beats so it sounds continuous, as if we didn't trim the clip here. See, it doesn't sound continuous, so let's see what we can do here. I want to go all the way to the beat drop, right there, and let's see what we can do with this. Okay, so the drop should happen right there. You want to have a good sense of beat, like 1, 2, 3, 4. We naturally have like an instinctual beat with the music we listen to. We always tap our toes or clap our hands, so do that while editing and you're going to get a much better experience overall. Let's see what this sounds like. Okay, not perfect yet. Right there. Let's see how that sounds. Very clean. Now let's change the angle on that beat drop. Let's see what else we have here. All right, so we have another piece of the intro, and that is the pull-ups. So at that beat drop, let's actually get to him walking to the pull-up bar. I think that would be kind of cool. We can already get rid of the ropes. I think we have enough of that. So let's do that. And notice, guys, with the gimbal, I'm constantly moving. I'm never static. I always like to move around because I get different angles like that in real time without, you know, setting up multiple cameras. Okay, this is all done with one A7R2. So gimbals allow us to continuously get different angles, and honestly, they're a lot of fun and addicting to use during these shoots because I like to do different creative angles with the gimbal, and this allows you to become a lot more creative in your editing workflow as well. All right, let's see how this looks. See how smooth that is? Man, the Crane 2's killing it. Okay, another beat drop. I want to change the angle here. Let's see if I get a good angle of his back. Okay, I like this angle, but I don't like how I'm backing out. I want to reverse the clip so it looks like I'm dollying in and not backing out. So yeah, this is a little cheat move we're going to pull here. So I'm going to reverse the clip. All right. It's going to look like we're going to move in. There we go. That's what I want. We're going to start right there. Very nice. Let's do some slow motion here. Now, when you're reversing clips, make sure that nobody else is in the background because you're going to notice that it's in reverse. Your audience is going to notice because people are going to be walking backwards. So because there's nobody in the background, you can't tell that it's a reversed clip. You can't. You can't tell that Rob is doing everything backwards or in reverse because he's doing the same motion over and over again, basically like on a loop. So it looks like it's in real time. Now let's do some speed ramping, get a little bit creative. So we're going to speed up the clip, then slow back down, go back to real time. Again, we're editing to the song. Okay, so let it play out here. Boom. Right there, let's speed up the clip to about there. And let's speed it up to a point where it, again, matches up to the beat of the song. So let's find out where we want the speed ramp to stop. Right there. Maybe that's too long. We don't want the speed ramp to be too long, otherwise it just looks choppy and overall just looks cheesy. We want it to be very quick. So let's see what we can do here. Okay, so we're gonna cut in mid-beat. It's still gonna work. Watch this. We're gonna speed it up quite a bit. Let's see if this works. I didn't really like the look of that, so let's make it last a little bit longer and see what happens. Very nice. Now we can cut to another part of his intro, and that is the ball drop. Now we don't want the intro to last too long. You can already notice that it's already 16 seconds, so let's make it go up to about 25 seconds max, and then we got to cut to him talking about the workout. Otherwise, we're going to lose viewer retention, and we don't want that. So let's get a shot of him tossing the ball here. I want to see if this looks any good. Sometimes the shots don't come out too good. We just did some random shots here for the intro, so if they don't look too good, we're just going to cut it out. But let's see if we can use any of this. let's cut that. Full body shot here is kind of important, but as you can see here, I don't have too much of his full body in here. So, you know what? We're going to cut this part out, and we're going to go right into an intro card. Okay. Now, guys, before we move on, I want to make sure that you understand that you don't want to color correct as you edit. Color correction should come last because it does take up a lot of processing power and it will slow down your workflow. So stick to color correction last. Make sure you get your edit down right, and then color correction will come after. Okay, so let's get a intro card here. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I did pay for a plugin by a company called Stupid Raisins. A lot of these are trials, but the one that I paid for was Logo Pop. So if you have Final Cut Pro, Logo Pop is such a cool way of just starting off a video, and I mean, these are all animated. All you have to do is just drop your logo in. So there's a lot of cool stuff in here. So let me find a cool intro that would match this video. All right, so I think I found a pretty cool intro card here. I'm gonna drag and drop it, but notice it starts from black. I don't want it to just go from this to black. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna drag it over the previous clip. That way it looks like it's coming in from the previous clip and not, yeah, see, it comes in over that clip. So actually, let me drag it up a little bit more. There, that way we don't see any black background, so it's very clean. Now all we have to do is find our client's logo and drop it in here. So give me a moment to do that. Okay, so I have Rob's logo ready. All I'm gonna do is just click on this icon here. All right, so here's Rob's logo. We're gonna click Apply Clip. And I don't like how small it is, so we're gonna increase the size of the logo here. Okay, there we go. And you can change the colors if you want to, depending on your style. Awesome. So let's see what we have so far. Not bad, not bad. With color correction, it's going to look way better, believe it or not. Colors do a lot with the mood and set the tone to the video. So don't forget, 300 likes and I'll get that color correction tutorial uploaded for you guys. Now see, on this clip, I think it's very important for continuity. It's good that we see him jumping up on the pull-up bar and not just standing there and then cutting to a shot of him doing the pull-ups. Continuity is also important, and we're going to talk more about that a little bit later down the road. He's already up on the bar, and then we cut to him already starting the pull-ups. So continuity, very important, guys. Keep that in mind. All right, let's continue on with the rest of the video. So here we see the intro, and then it's going to start cutting out to black. We don't want to see any of that black, so we're going to get another clip here ready. Here's a clip of Rob. I'm going to space this out, just like that. Again, we're going to trim the fat. All right, and here he is walking, so we're going to start right there. And we're going to play around with the audio as well. Cut a little bit sooner, maybe like about here. Okay, so we have sounds of him breathing heavily. We don't need that. We just need the actual sound of his voice. So I know that's going to start around here. So we're going to cut the clip, mute this part of the audio, and this actually might be a little bit too long. So what we're going to do, we might add a crossfade and trim this clip to make it seem a little bit faster paced. Okay, so right about there, let's add a crossfade going into the speaking clip. So we're going to cut this part out and go to our transitions. Okay, we're going to drag and drop the crossfade right over here.
Hey, what's up guys? Back here at
Okay, so I'm not a big fan of actually how I shot this. So this is what we're going to do. This is a little editing trick. What we're going to do, we're going to get rid of this clip, and we're going to have his audio already kick in while the intro card is being placed, because I'm not a big fan of how this shot looks. Right until about here is when I'm actually starting to like the frame. So I'm going to mask this part of the clip with the intro. So we're going to cut already right into his voice. And what we're going to do, we're going to lower the volume of the music track here. So on Final Cut Pro, we're going to press on the Option key, make a keyframe, and then make another keyframe and lower the volume. Nice little subtle fade there.
Hey, what's up guys? I'm back here at Gold Gym, mecca of bodybuilding in Venice, California. So listen, last video I posted, the triceps, biceps, and forearms. You guys love that. It's a full workout video, but I'm getting a lot of requests about people asking for specific muscle groups, topics relating to just one technique or method. So I figured today we're gonna do that. We're gonna address that and focus on the midsection of the back. A lot of questions about the lower midsection of the lats. I got 4 great exercises that I wanna share with you. And stick around, we're gonna film another video as well, focusing on rear deltoids, so check out for that.
Okay, he goes on mentioning a product sponsorship here, so we're gonna cut that out. We don't need that for the sake of this tutorial video, so I'm gonna stop it right there and trim the rest of this out, or cut it out. Now, if you notice throughout this whole entire clip, I'm moving around Rob, and as I'm moving, he's also moving. I like to keep the camera moving, and while you're on the crane too, you should be constantly moving, guys. I can't stand a single angle static the whole entire time. It just makes everything so boring. By keeping the angle moving like this, a single angle, guys, you only need one camera. If you have a gimbal, you can do anything you want. I mean, just look at all these smooth movements I have here. Okay, cool. So we're gonna trim it right there. We already know that he's gonna be working out the back. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna already start looking for a new track. We don't wanna constantly use the same track throughout the whole video. Again, it's gonna just make us bored, and it's gonna make the video too predictable. So let's find another audio track. Too cheesy. Nope. Alright, I found another track right here. It's called Techno 2. This is probably a really old royalty-free track I've had in my database for a while now, so yeah, I don't know the original name of the song, but for this video it's fine. But it's a simple trance beat, but it's really groovy and cool. Check it out. Yeah, we're gonna have fun, and it's a long beat too, so you can have it constantly playing in the background. All right, so let's put that clip in here. Okay, and all right. So another editing tip. Actually, let's get our next video clip ready, and then we're gonna talk about some other editing tricks to make your videos stand out. So let's find his first exercise here. Okay, so he's going to be doing some rows with a barbell here. All right, cool. All right, so let's start off the shot with him setting up the barbell. So we want to see this right here. We're going to drag and drop that. And our audio clip disappeared, our music clip here. Since Rob is not talking during this time, I'm going to mute this clip. And we're gonna have the music kick in here. Now, because I really like the beat of this song, we want to set up that beat. And what I mean by that is we want to lead into that beat. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go to the previous audio clip. I'm going to trim it just a tad, just a little bit. I'm going to bring over the Techno 2 beat to the previous clip here. I'm going to add a little crossfade just so it just seems smooth. The transition between the two tracks will seem smooth. And I want the beat to kick in, the beat of the song to kick in as soon as this next clip kicks in. So let's see where we can set that up. Okay, that's the beat. So what I'm going to do, I'm actually going to trim this out. Drag this over here. I know the beat's going to start right there. I'm going to just drag this over like that. And obviously, since he's talking here, I want to add some more keyframes. So I'm going to drop down the volume similar to the previous clip, which was at negative 31 decibels. So let's bring it down to negative 31. Okay, we're going to add a keyframe here. Let's see.
Check out for that.
Okay, so we're going to actually give a little bit more space. We don't want to have such quick cuts between talking and then not talking. It's not pleasant. So we're going to adjust this clip here to make sure that the beat drop aligns with that clip. So let's make sure we did that right. Looks good. Okay, cool. All right, so let's mess around with the keyframes again. Again, just as before, except this time we're going to bring up the volume. So Alt key down. Make our keyframes, make a nice subtle fade. Let's see how that sounds.
So check out for that.
Okay, so since I'm not a big fan of this clip, you can see how I'm a little bit confused with my movements. I don't have a constant movement happening here. I'm going to already just start with the dolly in, so I'm going to trim this part out. And yeah, constant dolly in, and then we're going to circle around Rob. So I think I like that a lot more. We're going to add a little fade out to this track here to seem like a smooth transition between talking and no talking. So let's see how this sounds.
The lads, I got 4 great
and notice the transition change between the two songs. So you're going to start hearing the build up to the second audio track. Check it out.
I got 4 great exercises that I want to share with you. And stick around, we're going to film another video as well, focusing on rear deltoids, so check out for that.
Yes. Notice how I'm circling Rob, guys. I'm not staying static. I want to show the full entire exercise from the front to the back, upper view, lower view. I want to get as many different angles as I can. Continuous shooting. I'm not starting and stopping. I want to get a continuous shot going. With the gimbal, it's possible because everything basically looks good. Okay, that beat drop I can change to another angle just so we can move this along. I'm going to go and switch to slow motion just for a little bit. Slow it down. Again, don't go too crazy with the slow motion because your viewers, especially viewers for fitness videos, aren't going to like it. They want to know the pacing of each exercise, so just keep that in mind. Here we go. Okay, cool. So now Rob will start talking. So we're going to use a similar editing trick as before. We're going to have his audio, his voice already starting to kick in while this track is playing. It saves time for the video and for your editing as well. So here's when he starts talking.
Exercise number 1.
It's still in slow motion, so let's go back to normal. Okay.
Exercise number 1.
All right, cool. So what we're going to do, we're going to trim this part out since there's nothing happening here. And we're going to drag the clip of him speaking to about here. All right, we're going to get rid of that empty clip. And again, we're going to keyframe the music. That way there's a subtle fade between loud and quiet. We're going to keep it at negative 31 decibels just like before. And this is another important reason why you should use headphones, because while you're using headphones, you can get a clear readout of the volume of your clips. That way nothing sounds too loud or too quiet for that matter.
Exercise number 1.
So the fade is way too long, so I'm going to shorten the fade. There we go. And how do you know when the fade is too long? Well, naturally, when the fade is so long, it's like you have this question in your head, like, what's happening? Why is the music lowering? There's nothing else happening, so why is the music lowering? With a quicker fade and with Rob immediately starting to talk, there is no question in your mind as to why the music is fading. So that's why there's a quicker fade than before.
Exercise number 1 for my 4-part midsection back routine has to start with the V-bar row. Great exercise that targets on some depth, some thickness on that mid region of the back. And when you compare this to other exercises such as, sorry.
All right, so Rob flubbed a line there. We're gonna cut that out and just, he redoes it here. So we're gonna cut that piece out and drag it back over here. No worries, Rob, I forgive you.
I love hitting the V-bar as an alternative exercise to bent over barbell rows. I find that the focus with it being a close grip allows you to squeeze and engage the midsection of the back together much more effectively than if you're just doing a bent over barbell row. Now, when we look...
Now see here, I kind of screwed up with the framing. His head's cut off. This happens every now and then because none of his movements are planned. So it's tough. There is no shot list for these kinds of videos. So don't worry, don't sweat it. You have B-roll. Let's mask this with B-roll. So we're going to go all the way up until his head gets cut off by the frame, which is about here. All right, and we're going to get ready to put in some B-roll clips. All right, so no worries, guys. This is all easily fixable with some B-roll. So we're going to go back to this clip here and just get another shot of his back. Right about there. It's okay if it's the same clip, don't worry about it, because he's talking about form here, and form should be very repetitive. People need to understand form. So if you're using the same clip for multiple B-roll shots, it's okay. For exercise videos, it's definitely okay. Repetition is important, and the viewers know that. So let's see here.
If you're just doing a bent over barbell row. Now,
so I'm not a big fan of how quickly or how just sharply this clip comes in, so we're going to add another crossfade.
Bent over barbell row. Now,
nice.
When we look at how you perform the back muscles and how they're engaged compared to something like a pull down or a chin up, that's where you start to focus on more width.
Okay, cool. So we got a nice B-roll shot there. We're going to add another cross dissolve to fade out of that and back to the main shot of Rob talking.
Width.
Okay, so this fades to black. Let's make sure it doesn't do that.
Width. But if you want that depth, that thickness to the back, you've got to do exercises that keep the elbows together and really allow that back to squeeze and peak, hold that contraction. And few exercises allow you to do that better than the bent over V-bar row. Few variations here. Some actually have handles fixed. If that's the case, try and hold it more narrow, or find a D-grip attachment like this one. Place it right on the edge, and if you need to, use more but smaller weights. So these are 45 pounds, try using 25 pounds. It allows you to have a larger range of motion. Therefore, you can peak and squeeze your back at the top here. Full arms, let the shoulders dip down to stretch out those lats, and then repeat, all of which without flexing or moving your back. Typically 4 sets here, 12, 15 reps, and then we can move on and start to specifically isolate and target that midsection of the back.
Nice. So that was a good clean clip. We had one part here where his head got chopped off, but that's okay because he was standing up and bending down to pick up the bar. So that's, visually trying to show how he picks up the bar. So that's okay. It's very quick and not that noticeable. And if you notice, I do continue to circle around Rob. So even though his head does get cut off slightly, that's fine. I do slowly transition to having a full body shot of him, but because it happens so quickly, people aren't going to comment about that. Trust me, I read a ton of the comments on Rob's channel, a lot of positive remarks. When I first started working with Rob, I did get some negative feedback of too much slow motion, the framing and focus wasn't right, the color was off. So I do look at a lot of user feedback when I upload these videos. I just don't, I don't have an arrogant attitude. I love feedback. So I learned from that feedback, and now people are loving his videos. So all right, cool. Let's transition into another exercise. We'll do one more exercise for this video, and then I'll teach you how I close out his videos. And what we're going to do, we're going to crossfade to another exercise here, which is another row for the back. And while he's performing this exercise, we're going to bump up the music again. We're going to try to find another track, and same process as before. All right, let's get to it. All right, let's transition to our next exercise. We're actually going to bring it back up here. What I want to do, I want to try to stay on the main timeline or storyline as much as I can. So what I'm going to do, I'm actually just going to drag this over here. I already split that clip, and I'm just going to put it right here.
Focus on more width, but if you want that depth,
yeah. That way our crossfades won't get too complicated. We want to try and keep our timeline as clean as possible throughout the whole entire edit. Then we're going to bring this up here. Get rid of this. And let's find a new track. Okay, I'm digging that. I think that'll be kind of cool. So again, we're going to mute this track here since he's not speaking. We're going to mute that. And we're going to drag in that audio track. And I think we're going to trim some of it so that way we start at the beat drop. I don't know. What do you guys think? Let's see how it sounds right now, just as is.
Specifically isolate and target that midsection of the back.
Yeah, see, it just doesn't work. Let's see what this sounds like at the beat drop. We have a hard beat, not a beat drop, but we have a hard beat. Let's see what this sounds like, or looks like, rather.
Target that midsection of the back.
Okay, it was a little too laggy, too slow there. Right there. To zoom in, by the way, guys, is Command plus, or you can zoom in using your two fingers on your trackpad.
The back. Specifically isolate and target that midsection of the back.
Yeah, cool. We can start right there.
Specifically isolate and target that midsection of the back.
Nice little orbit shot there, guys. It's clean. We get a full view of Rob's back since that's what's being showcased during this exercise. This is what the viewers really want to see. And I think we're going to actually get a wide shot as well in another take, I believe. So let's see. Because wide is also important. We want to see the placement of Rob's legs as well. Okay, cool. Cool, we can cut to another take where he's stretched out just like that, as we can see here. So let's see if we have another take. This is a continuity thing, as I mentioned earlier. It looks like we don't have another take. This stuff happens every now and then, but that's totally fine. We can still make it work. All right, so what are we gonna do now? Well, we're going to already start cutting to Rob talking, and we're going to cut to him speaking. Or we can actually get another clip here because he changes to different handles here. So we can continue. He's talking about hitting different muscles in the back by using different handles. So see, we can see him switching up the handles here. And yeah, but you know what? Let me cut to him speaking. I think that would be appropriate here. Once you've done enough of these videos, you start to automatically decide what is appropriate and what's not. So he starts speaking at about right there. Again, you want to avoid yourself from being seen in the mirrors. Gyms have a lot of mirrors, so be careful about that. Okay.
Seated row, here's another
Cool. We're going to start that about midway, maybe 2/3 of the way of this clip, just so we can have the music settle in. We don't want to have a few seconds of music and then him talking immediately. That just doesn't make sense in the edit. It's a waste of a track. So again, we're going to make a subtle decrease in volume here on the music.
seated row, here's another.
We're going to also fade in his audio here, just because it starts off pretty rough.
Seated row, here's another invaluable exercise if your target is the midsection of the back. And it all comes down to this, the line or direction of pull. With the cable rows, as opposed to a barbell row where you've always got that dead weight that you're pulling, cables, you have a nice clean, consistent pull.
Okay, so at this point, we have a lot of footage of him talking here. We're going to replay the same clip that we already used, but instead, we are going to add in some slow motion. So I'm going to just cut to this part of his back when it gets into focus here. Right there. Oops. I'm going to cut that clip, turn it into slow motion.
Consistent pull. So by varying the angle, you can start to
do a subtle crossfade or fade in, if you will.
pull.
Again, we don't want it to fade from black, so.
So by varying the angle, you can start to affect different regions of the back. And the back is a complex muscle group. Many different muscle arrangements, so
we'll have it last a little bit longer.
So by varying the angle, you can start to affect different regions of the back. And the back is a complex muscle group. Many different muscle arrangements, so that you can train the back in a variety of different.
Make it last a little bit longer just so it's enough to see how he completes the movement here. Right about there. And we can add another soft, subtle fade out into the main talking clip.
Arrangements, so that you can train the back in a variety.
Again, we don't want it to fade to black.
Train the back in a variety of different angles and movements, so it's important that you hit a full spectrum of them. What I'm doing here with the cable row, 2 exercises that I perform as one sort of drop set, if you like. Starting off with a straight bar or neutral grip here, and you can see I'm allowing for a full stretch when I.
Okay, see, now he's talking about stretching. We're going to use the same clip. Again, don't forget that repetition is important in these videos. So don't be scared to use the same clip over and over again if we're referring to repetition here. All right, so here we're going to play this back in real time. Too much slow motion isn't that great, so we're gonna just make this go back to normal, real time speed, just like that. Perfect.
Grip here, and you can see I'm allowing for a full stretch. When I come forwards, my shoulders are.
And sometimes a crossfade is appropriate, sometimes it isn't. Too many crossfades is cheesy, so sometimes a sharp cut does work.
And you can see I'm allowing for a full stretch. When I come forwards, my shoulders are lifting up and I'm getting that deep stretch.
Also, you want to make sure that whatever he's talking about is relevant to the B-roll, vice versa. So actually it should be the B-roll should be relevant to what he's saying. So make sure that you do align the B-roll to the proper audio clip. That's very important. You don't want to confuse the viewers here. Otherwise, if they perform something wrong, they can hurt themselves and then blame you for it. So it's always a good thing to cross-check yourself and re-listen to the audio clips of what your client is saying. All right, so that's another reason why I like using headphones, because it gets rid of any ambient noise. It makes me 110% focused on what's going on with my edit.
And you can see I'm allowing for a full stretch. When I come forwards, my shoulders are lifting up and I'm getting that deep stretch in my lats. So I can feel it right down to the sort of the insertion at the bottom. Couple of sets on there, not heavy, it's more for that range of motion. And then what I'll do is switch it up, add on these single handles.
Okay, now he's going to start talking about the single handles. Now, because the environment of the gym is very noisy, it's not necessary to have this music playing in the background constantly. It just adds to the noise. So feel free to trim the music clip right here and slowly fade it out, because you can't even notice it playing here. So why add any unnecessary extra noise? There's no need. So get rid of that music clip and have it play only in the appropriate times. So let's start pulling in the dual handle clip here.
Range of motion, line of pull is a benefit of using two hands down, just putting it in towards my chest. Final thing, a benefit of using two handles, single handles, and you can see I brought a dumbbell into sort of the insertion at the bottom. Couple of sets on there, not heavy, it's more for that range of motion. And then what I'll do is switch it up, add on these single handles.
Okay, so right as soon as he mentions the single handles, we can drag that clip in there. Right about there. Having a little issue with focus, so I'm going to just start off the clip right here. This is another important reason why you should always keep focus peaking on. Don't always rely on autofocus doing its job, because sometimes it likes to focus on the background and not the foreground.
Single handles, and you can see I brought a dumbbell.
Crossfade seems appropriate here.
And you can see I brought a dumbbell into play as well. This elevates me up.
Perfect timing. Everything lines up perfectly, because as soon as he mentions the dumbbell, I show the dumbbell. So keep that in mind.
Handles. And you can see I brought a dumbbell into play as well. This elevates into play. And you can see I brought a dumbbell into play as well. This elevates me up. So now that line of pull is a little bit steeper. And so now that line of pull.
Okay, cool. So I'm not a big fan of what happens after this shot right here. So I'm going to cut that, because, you know, this shot doesn't show anything of what Rob is doing. I'm just circling him, the shot's not in focus, so I'm going to cut that out. And I think the rest of that shot is unusable as well. Guys, this happens, it's fine. So don't worry about that. It was a short shoot. We only did this in about 25-30 minutes. But we still made it work, because you can keep using this clip over and over again in slow motion if you need to. But it was just enough to cover what he was talking about.
And you can see I brought a dumbbell into play as well. This elevates me up. So now that line of pull is a little bit steeper, and is a little bit.
So you see how I dolly out, dolly out, dolly out, and then slowly start to dolly back in. I want to cut that dolly back in, because that's a completely different move and it's not consistent to my previous moves. I'm going to cut that piece out.
That line of pull is a little bit steeper, and providing I don't go too far back, I'm keeping my elbows close so I can contract my back. I feel this more in that midsection than if I was sat down just putting it in towards my chest.
Cool. All right, so we got that exercise done. Obviously, this is going to be a shorter edit, just so I can show you guys how I edit these videos. The whole video is going to be the rest of this video is actually going to be very similar to what we've already done. I just wanted to show you the main style of editing. Now I want to show you how I close out his video, so we're going to add in an ending here. So Rob and I filmed an ending. I think it was him mixing a protein drink or something here. So let's have a look.
Ready? Okay. Action. All right, workout done.
Cool. So we're gonna notice, again, there's a lot of movement here, and we're gonna just fade into this clip. And you know what? We can play a little bit of music while this is happening. While I'm walking up to Rob, there's a little bit of space between this clip and when he starts talking. So we can add a little bit of music there just to keep things exciting. It doesn't have to be crazy electro. It could be something calming or soothing, just to let the audience know that the workout is over, it's done. So that's always good to hear. All right, so let's find a track. Okay, so some basic like rap trap beat is fine too. All right, so let's see where the beat drops. Cool, I like that a lot. Drag that over here. Cool, cool, cool. Awesome, so we're gonna find a way to transition between the previous clip and the clips that we see now. So I'm gonna just drag the last part up to the main timeline, and we're gonna just add a nice little crossfade here.
All right, workout done. So post-workout, I want to share with you.
Okay.
I can contract my back. I feel this more in that midsection than if I was sat down just putting it in towards my chest. All right, workout done.
So obviously, if I were to show you how I edit the whole entire video, the transition between the exercises and the ending would be a lot smoother, because he does a little recap of the workout and a close. So there's a very smooth transition in the audio. But because I'm not showing you the whole entire editing process of this video, otherwise it would be a 3.5-hour tutorial, we're not going to get as smooth of a transition between the actual workout and the ending, because Rob usually does like a closeout, a wrap up, and then the actual ending of the video. But we'll still be able to achieve a pretty decent transition to the end. So check this out. This is what we have so far.
Back, I feel this more in that midsection than if I was sat down just putting it in towards my chest.
Now we're going to do the same thing with the keyframing of the music. We're going to lower down the volume here. Subtle change.
My chest. All right, workout done. So post-workout, I want to share with you the 3 chest. All right, workout done.
So that's really, really short. Let's lengthen this clip just so we can have the music play for a little bit longer.
In towards my chest. All right, workout done. So post.
Okay, and we're gonna add a little bit of a fade in here so it's not too choppy of an audio.
In towards my chest. All right, workout done. So post-workout, I want to.
Now, because this is a quieter part of the gym, I'm gonna bring up the volume of the background track here just so we can hear it faintly. It's a pretty nice track, so we can hear it in the background for a little bit.
All right, workout done. So post-workout, I want to share with you the 3 different products that I have immediately following post-workout.
Okay, so this was another brand thing that he was doing. So let's find the actual close of the video, and I'll show you how we wrap that up. Again, the transition between this and the ending is not going to be as smooth because we're cutting a lot of this stuff out. And yeah, all right, so let's see if this is the close here.
So if you like that theme, let me know, comment on the video, hit me up on Twitter.
Okay, so that's the close. We're going to cut all of this stuff out. Like I said earlier, if I leave all of this stuff in and show you how I edit the rest of this video, like the full-length video, it's going to be a 3.5-hour tutorial easily, all right? So I'm going to cut that out. I'm going to add another transition here. It's not going to be too smooth, I'm sorry guys, but I just want to show you the basics of this type of editing.
Following post-workout. So if you like that theme, let me know, comment on the video, hit me up on Twitter, my Instagram, RobRichardsFitness, let me know, and we'll keep this going. All right, I'm gonna drink this now. I'll see you guys soon. Take care.
Cool, now we're gonna fade out and bring up the volume of the music again and have the closing animation screen come up with his logo. So we're going to bring up the volume. Not too quick of a change. We want to make it a smooth volume change. So something like this would probably work. And also fade out his audio track just to make it a lot smoother of a transition.
Take care.
Nice. Now let's find the animation that we like here. I like this subtle animation. That one's nice. Let's see what else we have here. Okay, I like this because then we can enter a tagline here, like add @RobRiches, like his Twitter handle or something like that. So we're gonna put that in there.
I'll see you guys soon. Take care.
Okay, so I'm gonna drag it over the previous clip just so we don't get any of that black background.
Soon. Take care.
Yeah, it's gonna be a lot cleaner that way. So we're gonna drag and drop his logo here, just like before. Awesome. Let's add his Twitter handle. And there we go.
Now, I'll see you guys soon. Take care. All right, I'm gonna drink this now. I'll see you guys soon. Take care.
Oh, whoa. So we have this little clip here. I don't know how that happened, but yeah, make sure that make sure that clip is gone. So that's another good reason why you should edit with headphones, so you can notice little things like that in the audio.
I'll see you guys soon. Take care.
Now, depending on where this is going to be uploaded, it's very important to have your logo pop up or a secondary ending screen that will point your viewers to another video. So I have this cool ending screen here. We're going to have this pop in after Rob's logo. So you or your client will be able to plug in links to other videos here. And make this last 20 seconds. So let's drag it out to 20 seconds here, because that's the maximum that YouTube allows. Okay, we're going to trim the audio to that and have the audio slowly fade out. All right, let's watch the ending.
And just putting it in towards my chest. All right, workout done. So post-workout, I want to share with you the 3 different products that I have immediately following post-workout. So if you like that theme, let me know, comment on the video, hit me up on Twitter, my Instagram, RobRiches Fitness, let me know, and we'll keep this going. All right, I'm gonna drink this now. I'll see you guys soon. Take care.
Nice. Very clean. All right, and that's how I edit my fitness videos for RobRiches. All right, guys, so now let's watch the whole video and see how it came out. Again, it's not color corrected. That you do last, and if this video gets 300 likes, we're gonna have a color correction tutorial. All right, so smash that like button. Here we go.
Hey, what's up guys? I'm back here at Gold Gym, mecca of bodybuilding in Venice, California. So listen, last video I posted, the triceps, biceps and forearms. You guys love that. It's a full workout video, but I'm getting a lot of requests about people asking for specific muscle groups, topics relating to just one technique or method. So I figured today we're gonna do that. We're gonna address that and focus on the midsection of the back. A lot of questions about the lower midsection of the lats. I got 4 great exercises that I want to share with you, and stick around, we're going to film another video as well focusing on rear deltoid, so check out for that. I love hitting the V-bar as an alternative exercise to bent over barbell rows. I find that the focus with it being a close grip allows you to squeeze and engage the midsection of the back together much more effectively than if you're just doing a bent over barbell row. Now, when we look at how you perform the back muscles and how they're engaged compared to something like a pull down or a chin up, that's where you start to focus on more width. But if you want that depth, that thickness to the back, you've got to do exercises that keep the elbows together and really allow that back to squeeze and peak, hold that contraction. And few exercises allow you to do that better than the bent over V-bar row. Few variations here. Some actually have handles fixed. If that's the case, try and hold it more narrow, or find a D-grip attachment like this one. Place it right on the edge, and if you need to, use more but smaller weights. So these are 45 pounds, try using 25 pounds. It allows you to have a larger range of motion. Therefore you can peak and squeeze your back at the top here. Full arms, let the shoulders dip down to stretch out those lats, and then repeat, all of which without flexing or moving your back. Typically 4 sets here, 12, 15 reps. Now we can move on to start to specifically isolate and target that midsection of the back. Seated row is another invaluable exercise if your target is the midsection of the back. And it all comes down to this, the line or direction of pull. With the cable rows, as opposed to a barbell row where you've always got that dead weight that you're pulling, cables, you have a nice, clean, consistent pull. So by varying the angle, you can start to affect different regions of the back. And the back is a complex muscle group. Many different muscle arrangements so that you can train the back in a variety of different angles and movements. So it's important that you hit a full spectrum of them. What I'm doing here with the cable row, 2 exercises that I perform as one sort of drop set, if you like. Starting off with a straight bar or neutral grip here, and you can see I'm allowing for a full stretch. When I come forwards, my shoulders are lifting up and I'm getting that deep stretch in my lats. I can feel it right down to the sort of the insertion at the bottom. Couple of sets on there, not heavy, it's more for that range of motion. And then what I'll do is switch it up, add on these single handles, and you can see I brought a dumbbell into play as well. This elevates me up, so now that line of pull is a little bit steeper, and providing I don't go too far back, I'm keeping my elbows close so I can contract my back, I feel this more in that midsection than if I was sat down just pulling it in towards my chest. All right, workout done. So post-workout, I want to share with you the 3 different products that I have immediately following post-workout. So if you like that theme, let me know, comment on the video, hit me up on Twitter, my Instagram, RobRichardsFitness, let me know, and we'll keep this going. All right, I'm gonna drink this now. I'll see you guys soon. Take care.
Awesome, guys. So there were parts of the video that were a little bit fuzzy. I would say about 95% of the reason why is because, as you can tell, it hasn't been rendered completely. So don't think it was out of focus. It actually was in focus. And this clip reminded me of that because this was actually blurry in full screen. See that? It was blurry. So it does take some time for Final Cut to render while you're editing. So make sure that it's fully rendered after you set everything down, just so you can double check focus. But everything, this video has already been uploaded and everything was in focus. No complaints from the viewers. So yeah, this video did very well. Alright guys, well that is how I edit a Rob Rich's workout video. You can see how well the Crane 2 performs in this type of shooting. Run and gun shooting, gimbal, perfect match. So if you're interested in getting the Zhiyun Crane 2 gimbal or the Master and Dynamic MW60 headphones, which I strongly recommend that you get, especially for editing, go ahead and check out the links to those products in the description box below. Also, don't forget to give this video a big like, share it with your friends, and of course, subscribe to my channel with notifications on. I can't wait to see what you create, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.